Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'm going to be doing my review for the entire Night of the Museum trilogy. So yeah, I've already rewatched parts one and two, which is the original Night of the Museum, and then the sequel, Night of the Museum, Battle of Smithsonian, at the Smithsonian, or of the Smithsonian, whatever it's called. And yeah, and I also watched Secret of the Tomb about a month ago, and yeah, I still kind of remember. It's actually like a guilty pleasure movie, in all sense. So yeah, basically, how do I ever do? Yeah, basically, the Night of the Museum trilogy review. So yeah, how do I review it? Basically, how do I review a film franchise? Basically, I basically give my thoughts on every single individual movie that's in the film series. Um, talk about each film individually, and then rate it depending, then I rate it basically. And the way I rate it is I get the scores of every single movie that's in the series, add them up, and then get the average. So, for example, if a movie was just for example, let's say the first movie was a 5, the next movie was a 6, and the second movie was a 7 in the rate. That'd be 18, divide that by 3, and the whole thing would be a 6 out of 10. I'm not saying those are the actual rates for the movies in here, but just an example. So yeah. But before I begin though, if you have yet to actually watch the film series or the trilogy, or have yet to actually watch one of the movies in the trilogy, and haven't already, stop the video, go check it out, and then come back and watch the rest of this review. 10-second spoiler warning, as usual, starting now. Okay, and I believe that's 10 seconds already. So for those that have yet to actually watch the whole film series and haven't already, please do not comment down below or be messaging me that I never gave you a fair warning. 'Cause as usual, I did. So yeah, in the first Night of the Museum, which predominantly stars um, Ben Stiller as the main guy, and then you also have Owen Wilson, Robin Williams. So yeah, you have a few other cast members throughout the thing. Um, so yeah, you have the monkey, which is called Crystal, which is pretty funny. So yeah, I believe you have Amy Adams in the second one as well. Um, and Ben Kingsley was in the third one. Mick Rooney is in it, and he died recently. So yeah. So yeah, basically in the first one, it's based in New York. You have the tablets of Akhmun Ra, and basically that brings everything into the museum to life. The Ben Stiller, who's in the movie, he's called Larry Daly. He is the new night watchman, during one of his watches, the three original night guardsmen or night watchmen steal the tablet of Akhmun Ra, as well as some other pricey exhibit jewelry, whatever, and they basically try to get rich before their retirement. They're stopped, and now the tablet of Akhmun Ra is back. In the second movie, the tablet of Akhmun Ra, as well as some of the other exhibits, are being transported down to Washington D.C. to be within the Smithsonian. Larry Daly announced to try to get them back to New York, and one of the biggest museums in the world is brought to life thanks to the tablet of Akhmun Ra. In the third one, same situation. They have some of the exhibits have to be shipped with a tablet of Akhmun Ra. In this case, however, they're sent to London, to Britain, to British London. I forget which museum it was. I want to say it's Buckingham Palace for some reason. I'm pretty sure I'm wrong. Um, so yeah. Oh, by the way, I'll get to that later. So I mean, overall, I thought it was this film series is kind of one of those things that's a guilty pleasure because it's not really made from my generation or made from my age group anymore. The first one kind of was because I was like maybe 9 when it first came out, the first one. But after that, the other ones weren't really made for me, if you guys know what I mean. But still, they're pretty fun. They're pretty fun movies, pretty fun fantasy movies. Now they do become a little bit thin at times, but again, that's due because it's made to a specific audience type, a specific audience group, and I completely understand it. I mean, there are parts where it gets a little bit redundant, a little bit stupid. It kind of draws thin at times. The plot doesn't really make sense, but again, it's made for kids, and I could totally understand that. And I'm not gonna really, and despite the fact that it's always been my biggest fault that some things do get tiring. I understand why they happen at times. The acting for the most part is pretty good, so as the writing is pretty good, in my opinion. Throughout the movies, you have some pretty great actors. You know, I mean, for example, in the second one, you had Amy Adams in it. You also had John Bernthal, who later went on to be Shane in The Walking Dead. For example, in the third one, you had Ben Kingsley. Um, and yeah, and I believe, and yeah, and also they have a lot of historical references from Teddy Roosevelt, and throughout the whole film series to dinosaurs. You had the Tuskegee Airmen in the second one. You had Amelia Earhart in the second one. Al Capone in the second one. Ivan the Terrible in the second one. Yeah, Ivan the Terrible in the second one. In the third one, you had Sir Lancelot. You had a Hydra, which is that snake that multiplies its heads every time you cut one off. So you had a Hydra in the second one. You had the Conmoon Ross stuff in the second one, and sorry, Lancelot. This was in the third one. Um, so I mean, overall, it is pretty fun. It's pretty cheesy at times, and it kind of does draw thin at times. But overall, it's a pretty good fantasy action movie series made for kids. Yeah, and once the third one comes out, I am gonna get the third one. I mean, I have the first two. Why not get the third one? I don't know. Maybe I should, which is what I will do. So yeah, now I gave the first movie a 7 out of 10. I gave the second movie a 7.5 out of 10, and the third movie a 7 out of 10. So yeah, they're pretty good movies for the most part. So yeah, now 7 plus 7.5 plus 7, that is 21.5 divided out by 3, and the total rating for this film series is 7.166666666. Yeah, forget it. 7.16 is what I'm gonna have to give the Night at the Museum Trilogy. So yeah, that's basically it for now. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. What are your thoughts on the Night at the Museum Trilogy? Which one do you like the best or the most? I like the second one the most, in my opinion. And yeah, aside from that, like the video, share on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. Remember to follow me on Instagram, which is Daniel Mart, just as my screen name. And yeah, that's basically it for now. Subscribe, comment down below, like the video, and share it. And that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.